Hi. So, my last few newsletters have been really about talking about medicine of the soul and what does that mean. And so I thought I'd try the video this time. So, we'll see how it goes. So, medicine of the soul. And I was last talking about how do we start working with medicine of the soul. And for me, the place that I start is I start looking at what is showing up for me. What's the energy presenting to me? So what that could mean is maybe I notice that something's happening in my life and I'm getting triggered, right? So that trigger can be a doorway for you. Maybe I have a physical ailment of some kind, physical condition, something physical is showing up in my body, right? That can also be a doorway, right? There's information and wisdom in these contracted parts. So that would be my first step is start looking at what is showing up for you in a contracted way, right? Contracted meaning something, the energy around it is contracted. It's pulling in, right? It doesn't have this expansive, open, lovely, flowy kind of feel, right? It's contracted, it's tight, it feels like it's wrapped in fear, it's wrapped in tension. That's what I mean by contracted. So, right? So when you're triggered, right, you might have an outward explosion, but inside there's this big contraction. You're not in flow, you're not open, right? So that place of contraction, if you can pay attention to it, that can be a doorway to finding your medicine, right? Again, if you've got a physical ailment, so I've been dealing with lower back issues, trying to figure out my lower back issues. So I'm using that as my doorway to finding my medicine. There's some kind of medicine that's wrapped up in this, right? My SI joint. Um, maybe, maybe you are finding that your adrenals are overworked, right? So you're in adrenal fatigue. I have been there. There's huge medicine in adrenal fatigue, right? So that's a place of contraction, but contraction in a very like depleted, weakened state. So looking to those places. Maybe you get in a fight with your partner, right? But it's a fight that keeps showing up, right? It's not just a one off, right? It's this same theme that keeps showing up, right? And it's a fight. And so in that fight, you get emotionally triggered. So when you are emotionally triggered, you feel contracted inside, right? You get defensive because there's this wounded part inside that's really contracted, right? There might be a part of you that's expanding and putting things out there. So it's really the beginning process of finding and working with medicine of your soul is really about paying attention to where are the contracted energies showing up in your life, right? And where's the places of flow? Where are the places of flow and life is feeling really good and expansive? Like those are the easy places to find your medicine. That's where your gifts are, right? That's where like the universe is presenting this beautiful medicine for you. That's an easy place. But can you become aware enough and mindful enough to recognize the contractions? This is my encouragement to you. When you want to start working with the medicine of your soul, find your contractions, pay attention. And it's really just having your awareness. And are you going to pay attention and discover these places in the moment, right? Like when you're in extreme pain or when you're in extreme trigger, maybe not, and that's okay. But afterwards, you can look back and be like, oh, yeah, okay, I was really triggered in that spot. Or, oh, yeah, I recognize that my ankle was really, really hurting in that day. Okay, so that's a contracted spot. right? So it's the beginning process is start keeping a journal. This is my encouragement to you. Start keeping a journal and paying attention to where are you in flow and where are you not in flow? Where are you feeling contracted, right? And if you're not sure about this idea of contraction, just think of it as in a very real physical sense, right? When your body is contracted, I mean, you know what that feels like, right? Your shoulders are tight, right? Your hips are tight. You feel tension in your body, right? We all kind of have that awareness. So those are the places I would encourage you to start. And we'll continue working with this every month, little ways to dive in deeper and deeper. But the first place is your awareness. Let your mindfulness show up. Let your awareness show up. And with that, I would encourage you to really let your compassion show up, right? Because if you're going into these contracted states, you don't want to go in with shame. You don't want to go in with judgment. Really, you don't want to go in with judgment because this is about going into these contracted places in safe ways. And when we go into these contracted places in safe ways, it begins, it's like it creates enough softness for the contraction to start unwinding, to start releasing, right? And eventually we get to a place where that contraction is open enough and released enough and maybe even integrated enough that it can start sharing the wisdom it's been hiding, the gift it's been protecting. That's our goal. That's our goal, is to get to a place where we uncover the wisdom and the gift, which really is your truth. It's your essence. It's the medicine of your soul. That is it. That's our goal. That's what we're looking for, is for you to be and feel connected to your truth. And that to me is the most beautiful, potent medicine. So I hope you keep enjoying this journey. If you have any questions, if you have any topics that you'd like to explore, then just email me. I would love to hear from you. So thank you for being on this journey with me. I'm Moira Scullion, and I'm just here to work with and love on and experience and expose the medicine of your soul. Thank you very much.